Everybody, in our previous lecture we have discussed the concept of uh, language, as well as we have discussed what exactly alphabet is. Okay, so in this lecture we will just discuss what exactly string is. Okay, but for better understanding of string, your concept of language and alphabet must be very clear. Okay, so let us revise the points that we have discussed in our last session. So see, in this lecture here we have discussed the point that there are three kinds of languages. Okay, first one is talking language. Okay, then second one is programming language, and finally formal languages. Okay, so in short, let us revise the point. The talking regarding talking languages, we have discussed the point that the talking languages examples are English, Hindi, Marathi, okay, and so on. And what is use of talking languages? Talking languages are used to make the communication between two persons. Two persons. Okay. Then next set of languages is programming languages. So as we all know that programming languages are used to make the communication between the person and machine, okay, or the person and computer. Okay, so in this programming languages, in this specific lecture we have discussed the point that programming languages again divided into, rather classified into, two different types. So first one is assembly level languages and second one is higher level languages. Okay, so assembly level languages, regarding assembly level languages and higher level languages discussion we have already discussed, okay, in our last session. Okay, so for now you just remember the point that the programming languages are used to make communication between the user and the machine or computer. Okay, and third kind of language is formal language. Okay, so this is actually used in automata theory. Okay, so throughout our syllabus we are just dealing with the formal languages. Okay, actually here we are not going to learn, in this subject we are not going to learn any new programming language. Okay, we are not going to write any program. Okay, but instead of that, what we'll discuss is how actually computer will take the decision, okay, with the help of models. Okay, and for understanding model, we must have to first understand what exactly formal languages is. Okay, so this concept of formal language actually we will discuss from next chapter onward. Okay, in this subject. Okay, now you just remember the point that related with formal languages, these formal languages are used by the models. Okay, and models are used by computer for what purpose? For processing the input and taking decision. Okay, then we have discussed one important point, that is alphabets. Okay, so in short, see you, if you have not yet gone through our previous lecture, then I request you all to please watch our previous lecture first before proceeding with this one. Okay, because here in short we are just revising these points. Okay, so what is alphabet? Actually it is not identical to the word, rather alphabet means what is the first picture that come into our mind after getting this particular word alphabet is, alphabet means A, B, C, D and so on. But actually this type of meaning is not there of alphabet in TCS. Okay, in TCS alphabet means what? It is a finite non-empty set of symbols. Okay, and it is denoted by using letter sigma. Okay, this is sigma letter. So as I said earlier in our previous lecture, uh, in this subject symbols are also important. So this is one of the first symbol that we have discussed here in TCS. The alphabet is denoted by using sigma. Okay, and sigma is what? It is a finite non-empty set of symbol. Finite means there will be limited number of elements in that set, and that set must be non-empty set. Okay, so for example, and symbol means, symbol it can be anything, it can be number, it can be character. Okay, it can be name of city, it can be name of student, it can be anything. Okay, now here see, here some examples of alphabets are mentioned, like This is the first example of alphabet. So this is alphabet. Why? Because this is a finite set. Why this is a finite set? Because only two elements are given. Okay, what are they? A and B. So here small a and small b are called as what? They are called as symbols. Okay, similarly one more example of alphabet is given. Okay, so alphabet, as I said earlier, it is denoted by using letter sigma. So this time again it is containing two symbols. So here this time symbols are what? They are number 0 and 1. Okay, so this is all about alphabet. Okay, now I just want to discuss the next point, that is string. Okay, see what is the definition of string given here. String is a concatenation of finite symbols from the alphabet. Okay, what is string? It is concatenation of finite symbols from the alphabet. Okay, means what? See here one example of alphabet is given. Okay, that is sigma. This is the alphabet. It contains two elements in it, A and B. Okay, so sigma is alphabet here. Small a and small b are called as what? They are symbol. Why sigma is alphabet? Because what is the definition of alphabet given? It is a finite non-empty set of symbol. Now whether this is a finite non-empty set? Yes, this is a finite non-empty set. This is why this is finite, because only two elements are there. Okay, and whether this is non-empty? Yes, this is non-empty because it contains two elements in it. So those elements here, A and B, they are called as what? They are called as symbol. Now see, it's not the case like every time symbol will be character only. Sometime in sigma we may store number as well, like this. Sometime in sigma we may store some name of the city. Okay, what is the condition given here? Condition, only two conditions you have to remember. Alphabet is a set, and that set must be finite, and that set must be non-empty. Okay, so as far as this example is concerning, this is finite and non-empty, so that's why this is a alphabet. Now next point is what? What is string? Okay, so what is string? It is a concatenation of finite symbols from the alphabet. Okay, means what? Now see here only two symbols are given, A and B. Okay, so what is string? By making the concatenation of these two symbol, whatever what I can say, uh, uh, output that we will get, that output is called as string. For example, see now we are having two symbols. Okay, so A and B, so only A can be treated as string. Okay, now we can make combination A B, it is also called as string. For what? For this alphabet. Okay, why for this alphabet only? Because this is a combination of the symbol which are present in this alphabet only. Okay, so similarly here we can write like this, A B. Okay, it can be any combination of symbol that can be called as string. Okay, I think you are getting this point. So here see some examples of strings given, A B, A B B. Okay, A B A, and so on. So here three different, rather four different examples given. Okay, 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, these are called as what? These are called as, here see, they are called as string which are defined on this alphabet. Okay, I hope you are getting this particular point. Okay, what exactly string is? As I said earlier, these points are very important. Okay, we have to take reference of these points later on during problems. Okay, so that's all for this session. Stay tuned for further updates. Thank you.